Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. I hope all of you are doing very well. So in today's video we are going to study the 12th Physics Volume 1 Unit 3, that is magnetism and magnetic effects of electric current. Okay, we will study section 3.1.1 here, that is Earth's magnetic field and magnetic elements. Okay, here we will try to find out what is the difference between Earth's geographical meridian and magnetic meridian, then Earth's geographical equator and magnetic equator. Okay, then angles and a lot of other things which are going to be very interesting, and then we will try to understand at which position the magnetic field is highest and lowest. Okay, what happens at magnetic equator and what happens at geographical equator, likewise for magnetic poles and geographical poles. So this video is going to be very interesting, but at the same time a little bit complex. Okay, so if suppose you are not able to understand any topic, okay, listen carefully the same thing again and again, at least 2 times, to clear your doubts. Even if you have any doubt, you can ask your questions in the comment section of this video. I will try to answer all the questions. Okay, please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes, like and share, and hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its instant notification. Fine. So let us start our today's class, that is section 3.1.1, Earth's magnetic field and magnetic elements. Alright, so let us start our today's class. The topic is Earth's magnetic field and magnetic elements, section 3.1.1. Okay, first of all let us see this figure 3.3. Let us observe it, what is given here. Okay, as you can see here we have magnetic north pole and magnetic south pole, and then geographic north pole and geographic south pole. You know very well that Earth is tilted. Okay, and because of that we have different magnetic and geographic poles. Okay, magnetic north pole and geographic north pole are not at the same point. Likewise for magnetic south pole and geographic south pole also, and because of this difference we get a lot of safety. Okay, our Earth protects us from harmful meteor shower or harmful cosmic rays. Okay, because of this property. How does it help us and how does it affect our day-to-day life, we will study in this topic. So let us begin. Some of the experiments which we have done in our previous classes is being discussed here. Okay, from the activities performed in lower classes. Okay, mostly this activity you have done in class 9th or 10th. We have noticed that the needle in a magnetic compass or freely suspended magnet comes to rest in a position which is approximately along the geographical north-south direction of the Earth. That means if you tie a magnet from the center and hang it freely, okay, it will come to the north-south direction of the Earth. Okay, that is geographical north-south direction, not the magnetic north-south direction. William Gilbert in 1600 proposed that Earth itself behaves like a gigantic powerful bar magnet. Okay, if the Earth is not behaving like a bar magnet, then why the magnets which is freely hanging always comes to rest in north-south direction? Okay, if the Earth is not a magnet, in that situation the bar magnet which is freely hanging may come to rest in any direction. But this theory is not successful because the temperature inside the Earth is very high, and so it will not be possible for a magnet to retain its magnetism. Now here the question arises is, as Mr. Gilbert has said that Earth behaves like a bar magnet, and the core of the Earth is at 6000 degrees Celsius temperature, and there is a property of magnet that as the temperature increases the magnetic property decreases, and at that high temperature no material can become a magnet. So how is it possible that because the core of the Earth is at high temperature and still it behaves like a magnet? So this idea was discarded way back in year 1600. Okay, Grover suggested that Earth's magnetic field is due to hot rays coming out from the sun. Okay, another philosopher Grover, he said that the magnetism on the Earth or the magnetic field around the Earth is due to the hot rays which is coming from the sun. Okay, this doesn't seem any thought, any philosophy. These rays will heat up the air near equatorial region. As he said, because on our earth the equator is very nearer to the sun, okay, so the air around the equator becomes hotter. Once air becomes hotter, it rises above and will move towards northern and southern hemisphere and get electrified. Okay, so what he said is, once the air at the equator becomes hot, okay, it will move towards northern and southern hemispheres, okay, where the air is slightly cooler than at equator, and because of this the air gets electrified. Okay, this may be responsible to magnetize the ferromagnetic materials near the earth's surface. Okay, and he said that because of this reason the ferromagnetic materials, ferro means iron, okay, those materials which contains iron will become magnetized. Okay, till date so many theories have been proposed, but none of the theory completely explains the cause for earth's magnetism. Okay, all right, moving forward. The north pole of magnetic compass needle is attracted towards the magnetic south pole of the earth, which is near the geographic north pole as given in figure 3.3. Okay, similarly the south pole of magnetic compass needle is attracted towards the geographic north pole of the earth, which is near the magnetic north pole. Okay, so see, we know very well that like poles attract each other and like poles repel each other, and alike poles or different poles attract each other. Okay, when we suspend a bar magnet in air freely, okay, it comes to north direction. Okay, that means the bar magnet's position which shows north direction must have south pole, and the bar magnet's position which is showing the south must be the north pole. Okay, the branch of physics which deals with Earth's magnetic field is called geomagnetism or terrestrial magnetism. Okay, and if you wish you can do your UG and PG in geomagnetism, which has huge scope in future. Okay, the way the satellites work, the way GPS works, all those things, okay, there in geomagnetism people study. Okay, and it has huge scope. There are three quantities required to specify the magnetic field of Earth on its surface, and what are they? Which often called as the elements of Earth's magnetic field. They are magnetic declination, means at what angle the magnetic field is lied, then magnetic dip or inclination, then the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, BH. Okay, magnetic field is rotated by B, and here H is the horizontal component of magnetic field, BH. Fine. So if suppose our Earth behaves like a very big bar magnet, okay, then instead of Earth we can replace it to a giant bar magnet as shown in this figure 3.4a. okay, and if suppose let me clear these things which I have written earlier, just a moment. Okay, all right, everything is going to be okay. Okay, so if suppose this on your screen, if this is the Earth and behaves like a bar magnet, okay, then you can see this is the magnetic north and this is magnetic south pole. Okay, but the true north pole is this one, okay, lies here, and true south pole lies here. Okay, and see, these are the axes. Okay, true north pole, the Earth rotates around this axis. Okay, the Earth rotates around this axis, as we know very well. Okay, which you have studied in geography in class 9th or 10th. Okay, fine. Then axis around the Earth rotates once a day. Okay, this is the axis around which the Earth rotates around a day, once a day. Then here we have magnetic south pole, here we have magnetic north pole, and this is the true south pole and this is the true north pole, and these partial lines which you see, okay, the lines coming out from north pole and going to south pole are the magnetic field lines. So always remember that from a magnet, whether it is a bar magnet, cylindrical magnet, or any kind of shape, okay, the magnetic field lines comes from north pole and goes in the south pole outside the magnet, but inside the magnet the magnetic field lines goes from south to north. It is just like in what direction we have earlier seen current passes, okay, out from the battery, that is from positive to negative terminal, but inside it is negative to positive. Likewise here the magnetic field lines outside the magnet comes out from north and goes to south pole, and inside the magnet it is from south to the north pole. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, okay, what we have here is geographical meridian, geographical north and south pole, and this is magnetic meridian or magnetic north pole and south pole. Okay, let me clear this picture again. Okay, fine. Now you see in the figure C what are the things given here. We have equator, geographical equator like this, but magnetic equator is this one. Okay, then this is the geographical axis and this is the magnetic axis. Okay, and as you can see here with the angle between geographical meridian, okay, and then magnetic meridian. Okay, so this is the angle as given here. Angle, this is called as angle of declination. All right, fine. Moving forward. Okay, day and night occurs because Earth spins about an axis called geographical axis. Okay, when on geographical north pole and south pole, that the line which joins is called as geographical axis. When the Earth rotates around it, we have the day and night change. A vertical plane passing through the geographical axis is called geographic meridian, and a great circle perpendicular to Earth's geographic axis is called geographic equator. So let us come to the figure once again. Okay, let me erase the things here. Okay, so in this figure, as you can see, okay, that this is the geographical north and south pole. When this is connected, when this is drawn, okay, it is called as geographical meridian. Okay, and the great circle which is lying perpendicular to it, this is called as geographical equator. Okay, so this is your geographical meridian, this is your geographical equator. Okay, fine. The straight line which connects magnetic pole of Earth is known as magnetic axis. A vertical plane passing through magnetic axis is called magnetic meridian, and a great circle perpendicular to Earth's magnetic axis is called magnetic equator. So coming to the figure once again, and let me erase the things for clear visualization. Okay, all right, fine. So in this figure, as you can see, okay, this is magnetic north pole, this is magnetic south pole, and the line joining them is called magnetic meridian, and a great circle which is lying perpendicular to magnetic meridian is called as magnetic equator. So I hope now you are clear with a magnetic equator and geographical equator, then magnetic meridian and geographical meridian. Okay, fine. Alright, when a magnetic needle is freely suspended, the alignment of magnet does not exactly lie along the geographic meridian as per figure 3.4. Okay, so as we have seen in this figure 3.4, this one. Okay, where a magnet is perfectly suspended from the center, it will not align to the, what is given here, geographic meridian. Okay, the angle between the magnetic meridian at a point and geographical meridian is called the declination or magnetic declination. As we have seen here, the angle between geographical meridian and magnetic meridian, this angle is called as angle of declination, okay, or the other name of it is magnetic declination. Okay, at higher latitudes the declination is greater. Okay, as we go above from the center of the earth, okay, or the equator, the angle increases. Okay, as you can see in this figure. Okay, and also if you see, okay, that if at the magnetic meridians, magnetic north pole, if you hang a bar magnet, okay, its south pole will come perfectly perpendicular to the north pole of the earth, okay, or north magnetic meridian. Okay, as you move away from this magnetic pole, okay, you can see here in what way the bar magnet will suspend. Okay, at magnetic equator the bar magnet will lie perfectly horizontal to the surface, not at the geographical equator. Okay, and here as you can see, this angle is the angle of declination or magnetic declination. Okay, fine. Coming forward, okay, whereas near the equator the declination is smaller. Okay, in India declination angle is very small, and for Chennai magnetic declination angle is just 1 degree 8 minutes, okay, which is negative to west, minus 1 degree 8 minutes. The angle subtended by Earth's total magnetic field with the horizontal direction in the magnetic meridian is called dip or magnetic inclination, denoted by capital I, okay, at that point. So as you can see here, Earth's total magnetic field and the angle made by it with horizontal is called dip, okay, denoted by I. Okay, for Chennai inclination angle is 14 degree 16 minutes. The component of Earth's magnetic field along the horizontal direction in the magnetic meridian is called horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, denoted by BH. Okay, so if suppose you have this magnet, okay, lying like this, it will have a vertical component as well as horizontal component. As we know from the vector algebra that a vector has a vertical component along y-axis and horizontal component along x-axis. Okay, so in that situation the vertical component of the magnetic field, okay, makes your dip, and the horizontal component makes the BH or horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Okay, that is BH. Let BE be the Earth's magnetic field at a point P on the surface of Earth. Means at any place, okay, on the surface of Earth, BE is the magnetic field. BE means magnetic field of Earth. Okay, and then we have to resolve it into its vertical component as well as horizontal component. As you have studied in vector algebra that a vector can be resolved in x-axis direction, that is horizontal component, and y-axis direction, that is vertical component. Okay, let us see what is given here. Fine. Then B can be resolved into two perpendicular components. One is the horizontal one, that is BH is equal to B cos I, and other is vertical component, that is BV is equal to B sin I. We know very well that if R is a vector which is making an angle theta with positive x-axis, okay, then its x component is R cos theta and y component is R sin theta. Same thing is here. Okay, here the angle made by BE to the dip is I. Okay, then its horizontal component will be B cos I and vertical component will be B sin I. Now if we divide equation 3.2 and 3.1, we get tan I is equal to BV by BH, that is horizontal magnetic component divided by vertical magnetic component. Okay, now from this what are the things we can get? At magnetic equator the Earth's magnetic field is parallel to the surface of the Earth. Okay, if suppose this is the magnetic equator, okay, here this is magnetic pole, sorry, and somewhere here this will be your magnetic equator, this line. Okay, this is your geographical equator, and this is magnetic equator. And here as you can see, the magnet is lying perfectly parallel to the surface of Earth. Okay, that is horizontal, which implies that needle of magnetic compass rests horizontally at an angle of dip I is equal to 0 degree. We know very well that the angle between two parallel lines is 0 degree, because here the magnet is perfectly parallel to the surface, so the angle I is equal to 0 degree. Okay, so in that situation, horizontal component will be equal to vertical component. Okay, sorry, horizontal component is equal to the total magnetic field, and vertical component is equal to 0, because vertical component is equal to BE sine 0 degree, and sine 0 degree is equal to 0. This implies that the horizontal component is maximum at equator and vertical component is 0 at equator. Okay, this equator is not the geographical equator, it is the magnetic equator. Okay, fine. Now at magnetic poles what happens, let us see. Earth's magnetic field is perpendicular to the surface of Earth, that is vertical, which implies that the needle, okay, of magnetic compass rests vertically at an angle of dip I is equal to 90 degree as shown in figure 3.7. Okay, so as you can see here, the magnetic needle is lying perfectly vertical. That means it makes a 90 degree with the surface of Earth. Okay, so in that situation, Earth's horizontal component, okay, is equal to 0, because it is equal to BE cos 90 degree, and here vertical component will be the total magnetic component or total magnetic field. This implies that the vertical component is maximum at poles and horizontal component is 0 at poles. Okay, so this is all about magnetic field of Earth. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed it. Okay, if you are unable to understand anything, I expect that I hope you will go through this video again and again to understand all the things. Okay, I have tried my best to explain the things, but even if suppose you have any doubt, you can ask those doubts in the comment section and I will answer all of them. Okay, fine. So till my next video, I will make the next video on this section 3.1.2, that is basic properties of magnets. Okay, and this is going to be interesting because some of the topics are related to the previous classes which you have studied in class 9th, 10th and 11th already. Okay, so it will be going to be very interesting, and I expect all of you that please comment in the comment section that what are your likes and dislikes about the videos, what else I have to add and what else I have to do to make the videos as much interesting as I can. So till the next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye. All right, it is over. Now next class we will see something. Okay, pausing the video now.